Hamilton County Prosecutor calls it disturbing and sickening. A local priest charged with 9 counts of raping an altar boy.
And as David Winter joins us now to explain, there may be even more victims. David.
Cammie, Paul, the alleged rapes began 30 years ago when the altar boy was just 10 years old, and the prosecutor says those rapes continued for 2.5 years. The evidence? Just the testimony of a man who is now 41 years old, but the prosecutor says that evidence is credible and compelling enough to warrant the charges.
It's a sad, sickening case, I'll tell you that. And it's incredible that somebody with that type of authority would prey on little children.
Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters at the announcement Father Geoffrey Drew is in jail charged with 9 counts of rape. His booking photo in stark contrast to the photo provided by the Archdiocese of Cincinnati. Deters says the victim of the alleged rapes testified the encounters happened while Drew was a music minister at St. Jude in Bridgetown in his office during or immediately after school.
He could have just said, you know, I'm moving on with my life, but he wanted to stop this behavior, and he's going to.
The Archdiocese of Cincinnati removed Drew as pastor at St. Ignatius in Green Township for texting a teenager after being told not to contact children. There had been allegations of grooming boys, gaining their trust to eventually sexually abuse them. Deters says when the victim saw Drew in the news for grooming, he contacted the prosecutor's office. Deters showed how the statute of limitations has been extended 3 times since the alleged rapes, so charges are still valid. The Archdiocese says it was made aware of the allegations after the Archbishop removed Drew as pastor at St. Ignatius on July 23rd and urged people to pray for the healing of all victims of the horrific sin of sexual abuse.
It happened in the shower after racquetball. That's all I'm willing to say about that.
Daniel Frondorf came forward in the late 90s after he says he was abused by a different priest in the Archdiocese. We spoke with him after Father Drew's removal from the parish.
16 years after the story broke in Cincinnati, they still really haven't learned the lesson. And I'm shocked and saddened, really.
The prosecutor today released a work history of Father Drew during his time in the Archdiocese. He wants people to study it, search their memories, and speak to their children, because he says it's unlikely today's charges are isolated.
And it would not surprise me if he has other victims out there.
The Archdiocese, in its statement today, also said that the protection of young people is of paramount importance and can never be compromised. The prosecutor says the Archdiocese is fully cooperating with the investigation. Cammie?
All right, David, thank you. Father Geoffrey Drew faces life in prison if he's convicted.